Hey, everybody, welcome to my live this week. And today we're going to talk about what it is that is essential for keeping you safe, what it is that provides a warning, what it is that enables you to go beyond your comfort zone, and what it is that can be a friend or a foe. What am I talking about? Fear. Fear is a normal survival response. In the right amounts, fear can be your friend. We need to have fear to be safe. On the other hand, excess fear is like a rabbit who's gotten stuck in a snare. It can't run away, and so in fact, it is paralyzed. PTSD affects approximately 3.5% of US adults every year. And an estimated 1 in 11 people will be diagnosed with PTSD in their lifetime. And women are twice as likely as men to have PTSD. So, how can fear be your friend? There's 5 different ways. First of all, it prepares your body for basic survival mode. It's essential for keeping you safe. It gives you warnings or signals that alerts you that you need to be careful. It prepares you to react efficiently in a dangerous situation. And in my notes this week, I outline that a little bit more of how it does that. And 5, it enables you to go beyond your comfort zone. What do I mean by that? We have daily stressors. And I mean, everybody has them, things that we have to do, but we don't want to do them, or we try to procrastinate on them. And so this fear gives us that motivation, so to speak. I don't really want to say motivation, it's not really the right word, but it gives you that needed extra boost to get done what needs to get done. And so there's a list about 6 different things that we need to get past and go beyond what our comfort zone is. So that's how fear can be a friend. So in what way can it be a foe? Well, let's just kind of go back to the beginning here. There are only 2 fears that everyone naturally has: fear of loud noises and fear of falling backwards. All other fears are learned. So toddlers are sometimes coined the terrible twos. But it's not because they are deliberately trying to do things wrong or that irritate us. It's simply because they have not learned those fears yet. They are in a world of curiosity and discovery. They just want to learn. And so they haven't learned that things can be dangerous for them, because they are only afraid of 2 things at this point: loud noises and fear of falling backwards. So, but the problem comes in where fears become a constant in your life. That it is the main thing in your life. It's been said that too much fear is like trying to fly in a plane with excess baggage. You might have to dump some or pay a hefty price, to check it in. So when usually fears are learned with an adverse learning experience, traumatic, whatever you want to call it. It's something that leaves an indelible memory in our brain. And when it becomes a constant, the focus point of our everyday life, then we are like that rabbit that's caught in the snare. We become incapacitated. We become paralyzed. It's like being stuck in quicksand. You can't go forward, but the more you struggle, you just sink deeper and deeper. So these fears, because of that paralyzing effect, it impacts in a negative way physical health, memory, brain processing, and reactivity. And there's something that's called the amygdala hijack. I talk more about that in my notes. And the fourth way is mental health. And that can include fatigue, clinical depression, PTSD or PSTD, PTSD. And so these are long-term effects of fear. And this is the kind of effect where you don't want that. We need to be able to get out of that. So stress is a fear-based feeling or event or anxiety, whatever you want to call it. It is fear-based. Whether it's perceived or misperceived, how we look at it, overperceived, whatever you want to call it, it is real to the person. And it's all in how the brain processes those things. It's like, your brain is like a mini computer. And, well, not a mini computer, it's a big computer actually. And just like your computer, your laptop gets bits and pieces of information, fragments of pieces of information all the time, it doesn't always know where to file those things away. And so they're just floating around on your laptop or on your computer. And eventually it slows it down. And at some point it will just stop working. And so your brain is like that. All these little emotional and traumatic events that leave these memories in our brain, if they have not been properly processed and filed away, it leaves all these little fragments and bits and pieces that trigger memories when, that can be triggered when something that is related to it we encounter. And so there are ways to be able to defragment your brain, just like a computer needs to defragment all that data. And I give a few ways in which that can be done in my notes this week. But it's important to be able to do it so that we can move forward and not be paralyzed. I list 5 ways to confront fear, and then some other options for dealing with emotions. Now, if you are watching me here in Facebook, or perhaps you want to catch me on YouTube, if you want to do that, just make sure you hit the button and subscribe so you don't miss it every week. You can find me on Pinterest, SheilaMeyer.com. You can find me on Instagram. I will also link put a link in the post. So if you want to get email notifications every week of when I put new information out on my website, on my weekly notes, then you can just respond to that link. But hopefully this today helps you to see that fear is something that we absolutely need, but it needs to be a balance. When it gets to become excess and becomes a constant in our life, then it can paralyze us in so many ways. But hopefully that's not you today. So go take advantage of the nice weather that we're having here in Wisconsin and go be awesome.